contributions to our nation by setting a tone of tolerance and acceptance and mutual respect of other faiths and cultures. The Buddhist community's numerous acts of benevolence towards their fellow Singaporeans, regardless of race, language, or religion, have contributed to strengthening interreligious harmony in Singapore. Buddhist leaders in Singapore also play an active role in our interfaith network. These contributions by the Buddhist community have enhanced community bonding, social cohesion, and resilience, as well as promoted interfaith understanding in Singapore. And the message of Buddhism is that people of different religions can live together as one in trust and harmony. In all our countries and societies, we need interfaith understanding and harmony to enable us to create cohesive and resilient societies and to collectively tackle the immense challenges created by the pandemic and many other global problems. Ultimately, we are all members of one human family, and we here have a responsibility to work together as representatives of our nation to the United Nations. We have a responsibility to work together to find solutions to global problems and to create peace and harmony and to protect our planet. I take this occasion of the Vesak Day commemoration to wish all of you and all our friends watching this event live a happy, peaceful, and blessed Vesak Day. Thank you very much, Ambassador.
I thank Ambassador Berhan for his important remark. I now would like to invite His Excellency, Mr. Dak Din Kui, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Vietnam to the United Nations, for his remark. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Most venerable monks, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Ambassador Vitavat, Ambassador Mohan, and their team for organizing this special event. I would also like to extend my warmest welcome to all venerable monks and participants to this event. And the past 5 years, several years, the world has seen multiple and complex threats and challenges, including COVID-19 pandemics, poverty, inequality, unemployment, environmental deterioration, conflict, and wars. Amid this suffering, the celebration of Vesak Day is a very good opportunity to remember Lord Buddha's teaching and messages. Lord Buddha's teaching and messages of living together in peace, harmony, compassion, nonviolence, and tolerance have moved millions of people, and they are not only factor of religion, but also philosophy of life. In this, they also strengthen the respect for diversity and tolerance, which are essential in finding common ground and exploring possible solutions to the above-mentioned threats and challenges. To celebrate Lord Buddha's wisdom, we should continue to promote the core value of Buddhism, as well as strengthen the friendship and cooperation between and among people in culture. We should work together to bring the good value of Buddhism into reality. We should take action to renew our commitment to build a world of peace and development. Each of us should be a Buddha messenger, contributing to repelling conflict and suffering and creating nirvana in the real world. Let me conclude with his own words. Lord Buddha said, quote, "When you wish good for others, good things come back to you. It is the law of nature," end of quote. Thank you and happy Vesak Day to all of you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Kui of Vietnam, for his important remark. With that, I pass the floor to my dear co-chair and colleagues, His Excellency Mohan Puris, for his remarks. Co-chair.
I'm sorry, I have unmuted myself now. Thank you, Ambassador. May I now call upon His Excellency Mohammed Koba, the Ambassador on Sashache of Indonesia, to speak a few words. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Excellencies. Excellencies, venerable monks, distinguished guests. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity to thank Ambassador Vitavas Sivihok, the permanent representative of Thailand, and Ambassador Mohan Veris, the permanent representative of Sri Lanka, for keeping the spirit of Vesak Day in this very challenging moment when hate and intolerance are still present and even getting worse due to the pandemic. Unlike last year, when the International Vesak Day was postponed to the month of July due to the pandemic, we are grateful that this year we could convene it in May. I wish also to share my gratitude by extending my warm greetings to all Buddhist communities on this occasion of Vesak Day 2021 to commemorate Lord Buddha's teaching of peace, compassion, humility, and wisdom. For Buddhists around the globe, it is indeed a felicitous opportunity while commemorating the birth, enlightenment, and passing away of Gautama Buddha to celebrate his message of compassion and devotion to the service of humanity. Peace, understanding, and a vision of humanity that supersede national and other international differences are essential if we are to cope with the complexities of the new normalcy. Excellencies, the observance of Vesak Day in virtual format may have had a different experience. By no means was it less meaningful. In Indonesia, every celebration had been put in halt, not to diminish the respect of the sacred days of every religion, but to protect the people, the communities, and the country. Even after more than a year, the pandemic still poses a great challenge for us. The virtual celebration would never make the celebration less meaningful. On the contrary, it had strengthened the collaboration and understanding, not only for Buddhists that observe the Vesak Day, but also for all the people around the world. We all can be inspired by Buddha's core teachings of compassion, understanding, and resilience that would become more important amidst the turmoil brought about by the pandemic. The timeless message of resilience is more important than ever. That will keep us strong and prevail over this challenging time. To quote Gautama Buddha, as an elephant in the battlefield, which stands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. We must endure all the challenges. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. Once again, let us renew our commitment to stand together and show tolerance and compassion to all the people around the world as we face these turbulent and difficult times together. Happy Vesak Day. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you, Ambassador Koba, for those gems of wisdom and the greetings you bring from Indonesia. Thank you. May I now call upon His Excellency Mrs. Hyunju Oh, the Ambassador and the Deputy Permanent Representative of the Republic of Korea to the United Nations to speak a few words.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'd like to thank the Permanent Mission of Thailand and the Permanent Mission of Sri Lanka for organizing today's meaningful event. I'm a Catholic, but I'm so honored to join you here today to celebrate the International Day of Vesak, together with the several hundred millions of Buddhists throughout the world. On a personal note, I was born into a Buddhist parents who truly believe in Buddhism and Buddhist teaching, but rarely went to the temples to practice Buddhism. But however, the Buddhism and Buddhist teachings have been with me and many Koreans in our daily lives. So it is a foundational spirit and deeply embedded in the Korean culture, as well as an important facet of our national identity. So through the spirit of rectifying faults, practicing righteousness within community, and treating each and every life preciously, Buddhism has helped to develop Korean society and served as a driving force to further establish our democracy. So today, in commemoration of Vesak Day, I would like to recall the sermon of Grand Zen Master Songchul in commemorating the Buddha's birthday exactly 40 years ago. So Master Songchul was one of the most influential Zen masters in the history of our modern Korean Buddhism and highly respected by the Korean people. In his sermon, just I'd like to share one of his the sermon. We shall look up all lives as if we look up to Buddha. We shall do the same to tigers, wolves, ants, and even flies, so that we even do not have to mention what to do between people. We are not able to find any existence which is not Buddha in this vast universe. So I'd like to share the Buddhist teaching as delivered by Songchul, and that is still continue to reverberate throughout the world in 2021, when the international community is going through a period of great challenges. So I hope that guided by teachings of Buddha, we can reach inner peace and simultaneously realize a sustainable peace of the Korean Peninsula, as well as harmony, cooperation, health, peace, and prosperity around the world. Thank you. Happy Vesak Day.
Thank you, Ambassador O, for those wonderful words where you endeavored to reconcile the spirit of Catholicism and the teachings of the Buddha, which perhaps I can sum up in one line: loving kindness. Thank you once again. Those words were really, it resonates, a message that we are longing for. May I now proceed to call upon His Excellency Ariel Rodeles Pereranda, the Ambassador and Deputy Representative of the Philippines, to speak a few words. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Excellency. Mr. President, Excellencies, most venerable monks, good morning. I wish to thank Ambassador Vitavas Srivihok, Permanent Representative of Thailand, and Ambassador Mohan Pieris, Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka, for co-hosting this important commemoration. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. The wise words of Buddha continue to resonate under these extraordinary circumstances. Today, the Philippines is honored to join the community of nations in celebrating the 2021 International Day of Vesak to commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and passing away of Buddha. Member states adopted the UN resolution in 1999, recognizing this important and sacred event. Consistent with its national policy of fostering interfaith dialogue, the Philippine government issued Proclamation 24, declaring the full moon day of May of every year as Vesak Day. Introduced in the Philippines between the 7th and 13th centuries, the Buddhist faith, the Mahayana tradition, is practiced today by some 2% of the country's 110 million population. We rank 20th in the world in terms of Buddhist population. For being comparatively small, the Buddhist community is among the most vibrant. It shows the easy inclusiveness of the Filipino society. For Filipinos, religious acceptance is at the core of our national character. We celebrate Vesak with a bathing Buddha to remind us to cleanse or purify ourselves through the 3 acts of goodness: think good thoughts, say good words, do good deeds. Excellencies, in line with the Culture of Peace agenda of the United Nations, the Philippines has partnered with Pakistan since 2004 in co-sponsoring an annual General Assembly resolution on the promotion of inter-religious and intercultural dialogue, understanding, cooperation for peace. Its premise is self-evident. Evil springs from ignorance. To know all is to forgive all. As we continue to nourish peace inside and around us in this time of COVID-19, May the teachings of Buddha continue to change our world into one of compassion, cooperation, and constancy, a world with balance, healing, and benign purpose. Together, we heal as one united nations. Have a happy and blessed Vesak Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Penaranda, for that lovely message, which actually brought home the greater message that religious coexistence amongst our peoples in the world is fundamental to peaceful living. We are grateful for that message. Thank you. May I now give the floor to the Russian Federation and to Ambassador Dmitry Polyansky to speak a few words. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Venerable monks, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We have gathered here today thanks to our colleagues from Thailand and Sri Lanka to celebrate a sacred day for the millions of Buddhists around the world, Vesak Day. The highest importance of this day for the entire world was confirmed by the United Nations General Assembly in 1999, and not only due to the religious component, but also because of one of the major Vesak Days tradition, to abstain from using of any kind of violence and cruelty. These postulates could be found in the UN Charter, the document that was established with the aim to resolve conflicts and contradictions without the use of force. Buddhism takes an important place among other numerous religions in Russia. My country represents a unique experience of peaceful coexistence for centuries of Orthodox Christians, Muslims, Catholics, Protestants, Jews, and Buddhists, giving a positive example for many countries of the world. Spiritual values represent central pillar of this construction, which we preserve and enrich. Unfortunately, in the 21st century, many people on our planet live in materialistic world and often forget about spiritual values, those which served as cornerstones for humanity during last several thousands of years. In this regard, Buddha, being passionate himself with science, showed us a unique example of combination of spiritual and scientific development. Meanwhile, he always recommended his followers not to take his study for faith, but always to make researches. That is why Buddhism itself relies on logical reflections and experiments. One of the wisdoms of Buddhism is the striving to understand the real sources of our problems, with anger, hatred, rivalry, and egocentrism being the main ones. Another wisdom is the awareness that all the people on our planet constitute one big family. Such an assumption has been recently proven by COVID-19 pandemic, which became the problem of each and everyone. To conclude, let me remind you of one of the most famous Buddhist quotes. Conquer anger with non-anger, conquer badness with goodness, conquer meanness with generosity, conquer dishonesty with truth. That's how efficient diplomacy looks like. Let's all stick to this wisdom. May all beings be happy and free. I thank you for your kind attention and wish all of us a happy Vesak Day.
Thank you, Ambassador Polyansky, for those wonderful words and your reminder that we are one global family, that Buddhism emphasizes the reconciliation of spiritualism with scientific development and the need for a united planet. Thank you very much. May I now proceed to call upon the Ambassador for Bangladesh, His Excellency Monwar Hossain, the Minister and Deputy Permanent Representative, to make his presentation. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Excellency, for giving me the floor. Venerable monks, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to join this virtual celebration of the International Day of Vesak 2021. I would like to thank the permanent missions of Sri Lanka and Thailand for co-organizing this important event. This year's celebration has a special significance in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Buddhism is the third largest religion practiced in Bangladesh, and Vesak Day is popularly known as Buddha Purnima in my country. Bangladesh will be celebrating this day tomorrow, 26th May. Every year, the day is observed throughout the country with due solemnity, ritual, and religious fervor. It is no longer an event for the Buddhists alone, rather a festival for people of all faiths, and has become an integral part of our culture. That spirit is best encapsulated in an oft-quoted statement by our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. I quote, "Religion is personal, but festivals are universal," unquote. The teachings of Lord Buddha have more relevance than ever as we seek spiritual solace and healing from the anxieties and sufferings from coronavirus. Lord Buddha's universal message of peace and harmony finds resonance in Bangladesh's propagation of a culture of peace at the United Nations. It also serves as a powerful catalyst to uphold the ideals of the UN Charter. Let us embrace his wisdom to unite in building back better a peaceful world. I thank you all and wish once again all our Buddhist friends around the world a very happy Vesak Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Hossain, for that very short and precise presentation, which brought out the idea that the ideals of the UN are in complete harmony with the teachings of the Buddha. Thank you. May I now proceed to give the floor to the Deputy Permanent Representative of Pakistan, Mr. Mohammad Amir Khan. Mr. Khan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ambassador, for giving me the floor, and thank you to Ambassador Siri Vihok, Permanent Representative of Thailand to the United Nations, and Ambassador Paris, Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations, for organizing today's important event on the auspicious day of International Day of Vesak. I also wish to extend my congratulations to all the excellencies and my colleagues, and to the monks who are celebrating the Vesak Day today. The sacred day of Vesak offers an opportunity to reflect on the timeless wisdom of Buddha. It is indeed a day to commemorate his teachings of peace, compassion, humility, and wisdom, which are more relevant today as they were over 2,500 years ago. Born a prince, he rose above self-interest and went out into the world to help overcome human suffering and an inner peace as the path to harmony and peace among individuals, communities, and nations. The central teachings of Buddha on the fundamental equality of all peoples, regardless of status or circumstances or characteristics, are fully aligned with the principles and purposes of the UN Charter. His core message remains that of tolerance, empathy, and compassion. I wish to thank my colleague from Philippines for mentioning the partnership resolution of Pakistan and Philippines every year, which espouses principles and teachings of Buddha. These virtues can serve as an aspiration to us all as we confront the global pandemic and multiple global challenges. Lord Buddha also taught us the four sublime states, which are kindness or metta, compassion or karuna, sympathetic joy or mudita, and equanimity or upekha. In other words, we should learn to live peacefully, to sympathize, to share, to help, to forgive, to love, and to bring joy and happiness to others. Peace, understanding, and a vision of humanity that supersedes national and other international differences are essential if we are to cope with the complexities of our times. This philosophy lies at the heart of the Charter of the United Nations and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. On this day of Vesak, let us renew our commitment to stand together as one humanity, show kindness and compassion to the most vulnerable, and truly leave no one behind as we face those turbulent and difficult times together. Happy Vesak Day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Minister Khan, for those words that clearly brought out the message that we are one humanity, and tolerance and empathy was the need of the hour. Thank you. May I now give the floor to the Minister Councillor and the Deputy Permanent Representative of the Lao People's Democratic Republic, Mr. Wangze.
Thank
The
you.
floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Most venerable monks, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on behalf of the permanent mission of the Lao PDR to the United Nations and the Lao people, I wish to extend our warmest greetings and best wishes to all Buddhist and non-Buddhist followers worldwide on this auspicious occasion of commemorating the International Day of Vesak. Allow me to join previous speakers in expressing our sincere appreciation to the permanent representatives of Sri Lanka and Thailand for co-hosting this meaningful event virtually. The Day of Vesak is the most sacred day to millions of Buddhists around the world, as it marks the three significant events in the life of the Lord Buddha: the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away. The teachings of the Lord Buddha, particularly the middle path, the compassion and care for each other, have guided us to cope with challenges and overcome the sufferings that we may face in our daily lives, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. Buddhism has played a very important role in various aspects of life and culture of most Lao people, especially in promoting non-violence, peaceful coexistence, morality, mutual understanding, and respect among people of various ethnic groups. I do hope that this year's commemoration would inspire all of us to further renew our resolve and determination to bring peace and harmony to humanity, to enhance global solidarity and international cooperation, and to live a noble life in the middle path, and to develop our minds to practice loving kindness, compassion, tolerance, and non-violence. I wish happy International Day of Vesak. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you, Minister, for those wonderful words of wisdom. Really, the need for the world to traverse a middle path is perhaps the need of the day, and tolerance and balance. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Excellencies, is there any one of you who would wish to speak a few words, although you may not be on the list? There is already our good friend and our representative from Myanmar who wishes to speak a few words, and may I have the privilege of having him being heard by us on this very auspicious day of Vesak. The floor is yours, Excellency Kyo Mo Tun. Yes.
Thank you, Ambassador. Most Honorable Sangha, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and Minglawa, I wish to begin by thanking Ambassador Pires of Sri Lanka and Ambassador Sirvok of Thailand and their respective permanent missions for giving us this opportunity today to virtually commemorate the International Day of Vesak. I also like to thank all venerable monks for their Dhamma remarks. Vesak is a special time of prayer and an auspicious day to all Buddhists around the world. Vesak Day commemorates the birth, enlightenment, and passing nirvana of the Buddha. And on this occasion, we all reflect on his life and find as inspiration from his teaching. Taking this opportunity, today I wish to highlight 4 agadi of Buddha's teaching, which we call the 4 kinds of correction. We all try to be free from these 4 agadi corruption, namely Chanda agadi, only look for self-interest; Dosa agadi, having ill will; Moha agadi, having delusion; and Bahaya agadi, having fear. Buddha's teaching of peace, non-violence, kindness, compassionate help to others is more relevant than ever in this time of challenges and difficulties. On this auspicious Vesak occasion, Buddhists in Myanmar do good deeds such as offer food to monks, chant prayers, listen to sermons, and practice meditation. But I am somehow reluctant to state that because of the current tragic situation in Myanmar, I don't think my fellow citizens in Myanmar will have the opportunity to enjoy and celebrate this secret occasion to the fullest like they did in previous year. I would like to wish all people in Myanmar and all around the world good health, happiness, and peace. May this Vesak Day commemoration serve as an occasion to remind ourselves of the importance of helping one another in need, loving kindness, good contact as enshrined in the Buddha's teaching. I wish peace, stability, and humanity prevail in Myanmar and all over the world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I thank you.
Thank you very much for those wonderful ideas. And we all hope and pray that peace will dawn in Myanmar very soon. It's our fervent wish. Excellencies, bear with me if I was to now present to you a very short written statement first by Archbishop Gabriela Cassia, our permanent observer of the Holy See to the United Nations. It's on screen. You will probably see that. His Excellency tells us that on the occasion of the Buddhist feast of Vesak, that he's pleased to convey his best wishes and for reconciliation on the planet. It is followed by a message by Miguel Engel Card Oyuso Gusio, who is the MCCJ President and the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue of the Vatican City, who has also been pleased to convey a message of reconciliation and good wishes to all the Buddhists in the world on this very auspicious occasion. Now, we have come to the end of these proceedings. Thank you very much for participating with us on this great day, perhaps the feast of love, of Maitri, of loving kindness. I hope we will take that away with us so that we will probably reflect that ethos in the work that we do in the United Nations. So may I close by addressing you very shortly. Venerable Mahasangha, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for participating at this August event to commemorate a day that has much significance to the present challenges that we are all facing together. I hope you have received some form of peace, and these proceedings at least, through those proceedings at least for a little while that we spend together. I can sum it up by actually referring to a very simple stanza that sums it all. Sabba papasa akaranam, kusalasa upasampada, sachita paryoda panam, etham buddhanu sasanam, which simply means cease from all evil, cultivate good habits and good things, and purify one's mind. That is my wish for you. So I take this opportunity to thank my colleagues and friends and Ambassador Sri Vihok and his team at the Thai mission for all the cooperation extended in making this event a success. And of course, not to forget my own team here in the mission at Sri Lanka. With that wish, I now wish to invite His Excellency Wittavas Sri Vihok, the permanent representative of Thailand, to make his closing remarks. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you very much, my dear colleague and friend, Ambassador Mohan Piris, and thank all participants again for joining us today. We hope that with the compassion and solidarity in the world, we together will be able to overcome any challenges we face, including the COVID-19 and the pandemic of the mind. We hope to meet in person for the International Day of Vesak next year. And with this very happy conclusion, I wish you all stay in good health. Happy Vesak Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vitabhas and Mohan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Happy Vesak Day.
Thank you. Happy Vesak Day.
Thank you. Happy Vesak Day.
Thank you.